Our next guest is going to discuss a 99-year bull market for silver. Super optimistic. He's one of the most watched guests we've had on the program here on SF Live the last 12 months, and I'm really happy for him to be back here in our studio in Vancouver. And he's none other than Chen Lin, obviously. You guys know him really, really well. Chen, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be back.
Oh, yeah. Great to have you on. Like, old roommate. You know, you've been making that joke. We've been on a site visit together in Kazakhstan together.
Yeah, same room.
Same room. It was like, you know, it was good times. Good times. Great times. I really enjoyed it. But again, thank you so much for coming down here. Really appreciate it. Great topics lined up. You know, we're going to talk about silver, obviously, but I want to also get your impression on other, like, overall commodity trends, market trends. And I want to, you know, pick your brain maybe on a couple stock ideas you have. You don't have to give away the gravy because I know you run the stock letter, chenpicks.com. So I don't want to give away the secret sauce there, but here, Chen.
All right.
No, I appreciate that. Let's talk sentiment. We last spoke, well, we saw each other in mid-September on the site visit. Market has completely turned around.
Yeah.
Explain, or why don't you summarize the current market sentiment for us?
All right. Well, there's so much excitement. I was just in the VRAC and then attended up 200%. It was a myth. It was like full of people. They're very, very different. They have to change hotel to accommodate this. So the market completely changed. I think the key was people see the Fed slow down tightening, right? That's, you know, gave a relief, at least the US dollar turnaround. And next is the massive buying of gold from central bank, right? So we saw that last year the highest in 20 years, central bank buying, and China just announced they're buying gold. It's not secret. There's rumors they're buying a lot more gold than they announced. They're buying about 1 million ounce amount. So that changed the gold market. And my favorite is silver. Silver Institute revised their estimate at last November's meeting, and so they said last year will be the highest deficit for decades, which is, you know, very pleased me. But I think they have a lot more to go. Yeah. And at the meeting, at the dinner, I happened to sit next to Heckler's CEO Phil Baker, and we talk about silver. I told him my chart. Actually, I tried to give a presentation on the Silver Institute dinner, but they politely declined because it looks their consulting firm look bad. But that's okay, and I can understand. So, but I showed him my chart, and then Philip immediately said, "Oh, this looks like another 99 years of silver bull market." Chen, you are young, you may not remember. There's a little company used to call Eastman Kodak. They invented a film that has silver inside. That started the last 99 years of silver bull market. And then what you show me here looks like we are starting another 99-year silver bull market. That's become my topic. So I'm going to talk about on VRAC tomorrow, and I'm quite excited.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, no, last we spoke, silver was the new lithium. That was your topic of the last conversation. Took off. People loved the topic and the conversation. One of our most watched videos here on the channel as well. Explain the fundamentals of silver. We're trading around, or not yet, right around $24. Mm-hmm. Keep bouncing off of it though, like coming in from the bottom. Seems like there's a bit of a wall, resistant, right? Yeah. Like, explain that a bit more. Like, how happy are you with $24 right now, or $23.60 actually today? I think as we're recording. So put that into perspective a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's a good step forward. At 18, it's really depressed. I was pounding the table to my subscriber that's try to accumulate silver, buy silver stocks, if you don't want in the silver in the stock market, you can buy silver. Just buy the physical or ETF. Because at 18, most silver mine is not making money. I know that for sure. So you're buying something that's below cost. Of course, it will go up. 24, and silver mine start making a little bit of money. But I think what happened is silver price is so low. I mean, if you went to see my friend David Morgan presentation, and he had the chart that silver is the worst commodity in the past 20, 50 years. Or maybe even 100 years, compared with all the other commodities, including gold, copper, anyone you want to name it. Silver is absolutely the worst performing commodity. So I have a theory about that. Silver is mostly byproduct of other mine like copper and even gold. So the byproduct, the mining company, they just mine it and then dump it to the market, and then silver, because of there's so much silver selling to the market, overwhelm investor demand. And then the industrial demand is not picking up. So silver price got depressed and depressed and depressed. We used to talk about silver gold ratio 10 to 1, 12 to 1. That's historically. Now it's almost 100, right? So that's leave the silver price very, very depressed. And then on the other hand, there's no primary, very few primary silver mine got built because silver price is too cheap. You have to have a very high grade. We're talking about kilogram per ton, then you can build a mine, right? I mean, 500 gram. So, but the other side is true too. Once the demand pick up, which I see is insatiable demand of solar panel, once it take off all the residue silver, then we're going to start a whole new bull market. So I hope it's 99 years, and I put on all the different scenario and then discuss what can go wrong, right? There's also a possibility what could go wrong, but I think it's very highly likely this is the beginning of silver bull market. And I see as that when silver price go higher, that's a lot of people will turn in their silver to sell it, to melt it. But that's probably need about the $30, $40, $50 silver. And then silver will continue to go because the silver cost for the solar panel is very small, it's 10%. And then the improvement is dramatic. You add more silver, you have more efficiency. Efficient increase it's so much. So people would just buy, even at the $50, $100 silver, they were still putting silver into solar panel. So that will start, and as silver getting more expensive, the monetary part start to take into, because silver too cheap, people don't value it. I was talking to another investor. He said, I can just go to garage sale, I buy those sterling silver. They don't know it's sterling, they don't care. I buy it, and then I sell it to to the silver house for the silver content, because people really don't see silver as a precious metal. But once silver gets more expensive, people start to recognize that. Will completely change our sentiment, and I hope central bank will start buying silver again. At least we need to require silver to go to $100, but I think it's possible.
No, fundamentals are definitely driving it right now, and we've seen a bit of a relief rally, I would call it, like from $18 to $24. Is there a certain reason that the silver price drove from $18 to $24, or was it just time for a revaluation?
Oh yeah, I think the rise was very, very quick, very sharp. I think mostly it just people just, there was a pretty high short position on silver as well. So, and then people just see silver price couldn't go down. Then suddenly the dollar started to go down, gold started to go up a little bit at that time, and silver go up a lot more. So the silver quickly go up. I just silver led gold this round and then now we're hitting 24. I think it may consolidate here, but if you look at the current short position, still very high. Yeah. So that will lead us for the next round.
That's sort of like my next question is like, is there more gas in the tank? Right, so because we ran quickly, as you said, to $24, and then we sort of bounced off of that level. Is there more gas in the tank, or do we have to be patient now and wait for something? And I don't even know what something is. Like,
yeah, I think there's a lot of gas in the tank. I really believe it. I think the key is really the people start to turn around. If you look at the like Jeffrey Christian's podcast recently I watched, he started to recognize the solar panel is a fastest growing demand of silver. He on his podcast, but his number is not right. Actually, he's the honest guy, so he probably looked at International Energy Agency's data last year. Okay, last year there's two data they come out. They come out in the summer. About they were predicting about 200 gigawatts this year, and then to the November already 250. I don't know which number he's looking at, but I check with my source. Most solar panel made in China. I check with my source. They said this year is at least 360. Okay, you think about 200, 250 to 360, that's a huge jump. And each 100 gigawatts is equivalent to about 70 million ounces of silver, give or take. Okay, it's approximately. So you can see this jump is almost 100 million ounces of silver will be demanded.
It's a big number.
Right. Yeah. So I think they were looking at the old number. So a lot of investors didn't recognize that, haven't seen that. I'm trying to talk to Silver Institute, trying to do all that. So they will have a new silver forecast book coming out in May. I hope they will put the right number in. So that's right now we're in early February. I mean, end of January, early February, and in May we'll have a few months. I hope investor will see it in the next few months. If not, if Silver Institute give out the real number, people will be a little bit surprised.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, to sort of follow up on what you mentioned, you have your sources on the ground in China when it comes to photovoltaics and PVs. What do they tell you about the reopening right now? Like, where are we at in that phase, and how quickly is that going to hit the market?
Oh, the reopening in China is almost done, actually, frankly. I've seen people report that the traffic is back to 90%, the foot traffic in the mall. So, the COVID, it's a little bit similar to India, to other countries. When they hit first month is hardest. China, December is hardest. A lot of people swarm in the hospital, and their relatives in China. 3 of my relatives passed away in the month of December, and January. So so it's that bad. So hospital swarm with patient. But now it's really going down dramatically because 80% people infected. That's there's
herd immunity.
Yeah, herd immunity already hit. So it's getting back to normal. Actually, this week is Chinese New Year. So the traders, buyers on vacation. So I was talking to people a week before, say, okay, if the short want to attack gold, they will attack this week. So far, we are looking at the end of the week. Gold is still above 1900. That's very good. Silver is 2360. So it's not too bad, actually, with all the Chinese buyers on vacation. Next week, they'll be back.
They'll be all back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting. No, that's timing wise. That's really, really interesting. You brought up gold as well. Like, what's your perspective there? We also quickly ran up $320.
Oh,
really
yeah,
quickly,
so
from 16,
quick.
15. So what's been driving that? And you said silver front ran gold a little bit, but it feels like gold just overtook silver massively and just passed them on the left.
Yeah, gold took off, have actually more momentum lately in the past few weeks. And mostly is people recognize that, the central bank, first central bank is buying, dollar has peaked, and the Fed probably will slow down raising the interest rate. May slow. The next raise, which is next week, could be the last. It could be, finger crossed. So even the inflation is high. I think I'm in my friend Brian Landing's camp, and I think we just had dinner together, and he think even the inflation is high, Fed still will slow down because they have no choice. Okay, so if they continue to raise rate, there's a lot of things going to break. So it will be a hard landing. So with all these put together, the dollar looks coming down, and then gold start to take out. It's very interesting. If you look at the ETF holding, there's no participation from ETF. So it's not ETF buying push up the gold price.
Yeah, no, it's like I looked at volumes also in the GDX and GDXJ, and the generalists haven't arrived yet.
No. So it's just a wake up call how fast gold and silver can move, right? Yeah. I mean, you look at the market, the senior has moved, right? But juniors has not. So there's a lot of opportunity. I'm like the B-Rec floor, the mid floor, just talking to companies. There's a lot of opportunities.
That's good point, actually. Let's talk about VRIC real quick. You said it's going to be quite busy, or it is quite busy already. What's your goal of attending the conference? Like you said, you're walking the floor. Are you trying to find the next best investment or the next big investment?
Oh, mostly I've just, to see. I know a lot of people just to talk, because I check with, and also, I'm looking for investment. And then for investment, you want to hear from different side, not just from management, because always positive. You want to hear from his her enemies, want to hear from her, other parties, so related parties, and to check out the potential investment. There's so many deals coming. So obviously you want to be in the best deal, the best stock.
Absolutely.
That's the goal for the conference. Of course, I'm talking to many other people like Jay Martin, like all the other Rick Rue. I just have a long talk and to check out their perspective.
Yeah, no, interesting. I had Rick Rule sitting in your chair just an hour ago as well. So talking about sentiment, I asked him whether he had FOMO, right? Mere fear of missing out. Because we're seeing a lot of financings this week. And he said we might have more time in a previous interview at the end of the year. Like he said, we got about 6 months or so, like where we can slowly look at story or take our time looking at stories and invest at our terms, not the company's terms. Do you think that's changing right now? Do you think there's a trend change where we do maybe have to like jump into an opportunity that we've been waiting for maybe a little longer?
Yes or no. Depends on the company. Some company really desperate need money, so you can dictate your terms. Some company they don't need money and then they raise. So that's more towards company's term. But you need to watch for those. Actually, they create a lot of opportunity. Just we talk about, and we got Max Silver did the financing last week. The stock down 20%. They lost like hundreds of millions of dollars for 40 million raise. And that's a good opportunity. If you're bullish on gold and bullish on silver, and bullish, they have gold too. I mean, and the reasonable price. I think that's just open market. You can buy it. Of course, Rick is talking about the private deal. I'm also doing private deal, so it's a different aspect. So different. You need to really careful to see if there are any fatal flaws, right? So to minimize your own risk.
No, absolutely. Like, as you said, interview people as much as possible on the floor, talk to them, and vet the stories. So Chen, I'm probably going to mention that also in other interviews quite a bit, as we've seen that in the tech space. We've seen that with Tesla and other things, is where the buy the dip mentality. It feels like it has arrived in mining now. Like, do you sort of agree? Like, is it like you mentioned Max Silver? That's why I thought of that. Like, the company's dropped 200 million in market cap from 2 billion to 1.8 billion, only raising 40 million. Is that a buy the dip opportunity, and will you see more of those? And should we take more advantage of buy the dip opportunities?
Right. Exactly. So I was buying. Okay, I was a conference and MIF. I put order to buy Mac. I saw that it dropped below the board deal price. It dropped below that. I mean, 3-5%. It's for a good company. Buy on the dip is very, very good. Good strategy. I've been making money on it for in this business for a very long time. You buy on the dip for good company, but for the bad company that you want to stay away.
Sell hard.
Yeah, you're right. Even the dip, I mean, you stop out on the dip.
No, like I think the question where I'm coming from as well is like market sentiment needs to be different to have that buy the dip mentality actually work. Because with Tesla and all the, let's call them meme stocks back in the day, the mentality was to the moon and off we go. Is that sort of that mindset? I don't think we're here, but it's early days in that mindset. Like, would you agree? Like,
oh yeah, very early days. I mean, you look at maybe some Lithium Junior maybe has those type of to the moon type, but not in the gold and silver space. But it will come. I do think that days will come. I do see. I mean, I have some energy investment. They have those kind of mindset. Oh, just like to the moon. I mean, I haven't. I look at it, I forgot looking at it for 2 weeks, it doubled. I said, wow, this is good, I'm selling. But it's still going higher, so it's good.
Yeah. What other metals are you looking at, or commodities? Like, and I'm asking the question because you mentioned a metal to me that I've never heard of before or never looked at.
Good.
So you want to explain a bit more about that? So it means...
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, bring your napkin, write down Tellurium, Terruriun. I mean, a lot of people don't know how to spell it, but you want to know it before other people know how to spell it. So basically the story is that there's a big solar company in the United States called First Solar. Right? Everybody heard that. They are just been admitted to S&P 500, and they have rapidly expanding their production. They are using cadmium, tellurium, solar panel. Okay, cadmium. They don't use so much silver. It's very different than the technology in China. It's Chinese technology, which Chinese technology is about 90% worth. the first solar is about 5%. Okay, very small. But with all the trade war going on, China last week just announced they're going to retaliate the United States semiconductor crunch, right? They're going to kill Chinese semiconductor. China said, okay, we're going to kill your solar panel industry, because China is about 90% worldwide solar panel production. So okay, we will ban the material, we'll ban the technology export. So that will leave United States only one choice. And that choice is First Solar. First Solar, they use 50%, 50, more than 50% of worldwide Tellurium. If you look at it, go to their website, look at their expansion plan, it will be easily over 100% in a couple of years. 100% Tellurium has many other use. Yeah. Okay, you think about the 100% goes to their solar panel. So we need Tellurium. So I have a little company called First Tellurium I'm quite excited about. And they are, as we said, they're not very high. They used to be much higher. They're trading a much, less than 20% at its peak, so it's quite low. They did a financing late last year, which is CEO put $500,000 of its own money into, so which is a good sign. And I think I like it because they're the only high-grade Tellurium project.
I know nothing about Tellurium, so I'm going to ask, like, naively, where is it mostly mined and where is it processed? Like, and how is it processed? Like let's not get too technical, but just understanding market dynamics. Is it, again, a Chinese metal because it's mostly produced and refined there, or is it more of a global metal?
Yeah, it is a relatively global metal. It's mostly, again, byproduct of copper mine, byproduct of gold mine. Okay, so it's a byproduct, and actually also mostly Chinese, because 60% come from China. Okay, and but it used many uses, steel, for all the chemical whatsoever. But just First Solar funded it make their solar panel a key part, because they use cadmium tellurium solar panel. So they already took more than 50% of the worldwide production, and then they will take more than 100% in a couple of years. I truly believe with this trade war going on, Tellurium will become a critical metal to the United States. Canada government is smart. They already list Tellurium as the critical metal. Actually, if you go to the Canada website, United States will get it as the critical metal. They even may support mining of Tellurium for American to reach energy independence.
I need to read up on this. I have to admit, like, this is not a market I'm familiar with. So it's super interesting that you bring that up. So thanks for that. I promised the viewers a bit in the intro that we're going to talk about some top stock picks. You mentioned Max Silver. You mentioned First Tellurium. One or two companies you feel confident mentioning without giving away the secret sauce of your newsletter, obviously.
Oh, I mean, I think this year is year of silver, and I like quite a few different silver company. I just say that the Max Silver, because the financing price wise is really good, and I also have Heckler came to my panel on MIF. They're very good because Heckler is based in the U.S. and Canada. So the production, cost profile a little bit higher than Mexican, but when silver getting hot, other countries tend to tax more. It's always that case. You look at what happened to copper and all the other metal. So in the safe jurisdiction like United States and Canada, actually make it stand out. So that could have a more long runway.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I think Hecla, once they bring the Alexco operation back into operation, North America's largest silver producer.
Oh, absolutely. So. They're already the largest in America. They will be the largest in North America. And then their growth profile, it looks very, very good. They got the Alaska on, it's just penny on the dollar. It's just unbelievable deal they did.
Great timing on that deal, I think, and buying out Wheaton Precious Metals there as well.
Yeah,
stream to sort of free the asset.
Free the asset. Yeah, 25 stream. I cannot believe Alaska did that deal. It's terrible for the shareholder. I happen to be one of the shareholder.
Painful lesson for everybody involved, I think, as well. Fantastic. Chen, thank you so much for coming on. Always great to have you here at the studio. It's always great seeing you. And where can we find more? Chenpix.com?
Chenpix.com. Thank you, guys.
No, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, next time we'll share a room again.
Oh, definitely. We need to go do some more site visits.
Okay.
See, year's just starting, so we'll do that. And everybody else, let me thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the conversation here with Chen Lin. Make sure to go check out his newsletter, chenpix.com. Leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to this channel. 85 to 9% of you are not subscribed yet. Let's change that. It's very, very easy. Just hit that little subscribe button. It's right there. Or there's a little logo on the right side of the video as well. So just hit that as well. Really appreciate it. Leave a comment. What do you think silver is going to do? Do you believe in that the photovoltaics will sort of really push silver prices higher? Do you see other uses for it? Do you see it coming back as a monetary metal? Leave that comment below. Happy to discuss it with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with lots more. Thank you.